fucking idiot. Get up, checker, you dick. Hey, just fucking kick it.
It's not that hard. It's not that hard. Oh.
Welcome all back to the Four Cocks on the Couch. How are we, boys?
You got it right.
You got it right this time. That was hard, wasn't it? You were thinking about it.
I was mulling it over in my head.
Laura.
Are we doing well?
Good, mate. You?
Yeah, good, mate.
Yeah, you're fucking really enthusiastic, you fucks. Actually, that sort of rolls into our next fucking topic because
Which is?
Should we have changed shirts or something? Because we're going to be dressed the same for 4 weeks. Because these are live recordings, of course.
That's fucking awkward.
That is very awkward.
What do we do? I don't know.
Anyway, move on.
But
Turn the video off. Just don't do video.
that's a valid point.
Oh, problem solved after all that.
That's a valid point.
It is.
People like to watch video.
Okay.
When you got this fine specimen on camera.
Oh, jeez. Well,
This is what the issues we come across.
so what's this? Yep. This just provides it. Yeah, we this is not clearly our fucking full-time job. We are clearly amateurs at this, and we do this in our fucking in our spare time.
Absolutely in our spare
because
time.
we've got nothing else fucking better to do. So
If only they knew where we were.
well, that is true. That is true. In our fucking studio, we've got fucking artificial lighting and shit. It's just fucking ridiculous.
I'd like to thank
So-
old
so-
Stuart
so
for letting us use his rape dungeon.
Can you describe what is real lighting?
Well, it's a well,
Natural.
it's
It's all artificial.
natural light. Well, we've got our fucking high vis like the village people here. It's just all over. Fucking Pants is trying to fix his fucking.
I've got the mic
microphone.
working now.
Boys, like, what's the work-life balance here? What do we do?
We've all left work and we're here doing this. There is no work-life balance.
so
When you
what,
choose to pick up something outside of the normal 9 to 5, if you want to call it, there's no work-life balance. You have to fit it in.
That's
You've
true.
got to make it happen.
that's true. Like, especially like with us, we've all got families. Like, how do you guys do? Like, you know, do the other halves bust balls? Or
Yeah,
what?
shit, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Oh, really? No.
No.
How do you manage? Are you in control?
She's happy.
No.
She's happy he's
Are
gone.
you the wolf in the pack?
No, there's no wolves.
Oh, you're a sheep.
Well, no sheep
You're
either.
a wolf in sheep's clothing.
So how do you manage this?
I don't manage it. It's we're both just happy that
You got a massive cock. that you
the way we are
don't
is
think
that
so.
we're happy to be in each other's lives, but we don't want to change each other's lives. We're not both of us are not here to control each other. So if I say I'm doing this tonight, it's fine.
Can I ask you, like, so when you asked us that question, I was thinking, you have young kids.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking back to when I had young kids, and my balls were busted quite a bit.
Yeah.
But I still managed to
Play footy.
Have somewhat of a social life.
Yeah.
I used to have to fill out a leave form to get the night off with the boys.
How often did you get that through?
Oh, it's pretty tough. I had to come up with
What did you have to
reasons.
do to get the approval there?
Everything, yeah.
Yeah.
So is anyone else here have to fill out any forms to do
No,
anything?
look, at the moment I don't.
No.
I do it. I do it.
What about you, Fred?
This fella here's probably got the hardest one because he's got
you
two
brought it
little
up.
ones.
Do you have trouble? Like
No, well, as long as I give ample notice. There needs to be that 2 week period, or not 2 weeks. There needs to be like a reasonable amount of
2 year
time
period
to say, "Hey, hun."
You couldn't just drop it last minute.
I could,
But
yeah.
with
on
a
the
young
5th
family,
of June 2024.
but with a young family, that's acceptable.
Yeah, that's tough.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
tough.
Well, I still am in that mentality of, look, if I want to go and do something, let me fucking do it. Because on the flip side, if you want to go and fucking do something, then I'll let you go and do it.
But there's a level of respect too.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's
Because
right.
obviously kids is difficult, and I've explained earlier, I've got very young children, and my wife does an amazing job.
Hi, Jamie.
She's a very hard worker.
But she is. But it does, like for this, like, we have fun, and we're all very close knit. So it's okay. It's when you then say, I'm just going out to the pub or something like that. It becomes I can't exactly do that week on week.
Yeah.
I think it depends on what it is you do. So let's play devil's advocate. Let's say tonight we pretended that we wanted to go out this coming Friday night and have a massive bender.
Yeah.
There's not a hope in hell that I would even go home and put that on the table as an option.
I probably
Would you?
would.
Would you?
I would be ballsy enough to. It would be a very difficult conversation, and obviously I'd have to get my sales skills involved to ensure that the purple tulip did its job. So it got me the pass that I needed. But So thanks, Ada, for that fucking reference. But it's difficult, because you do when you put it out there. You need to obviously take in consideration other people's circumstances and obviously your kids and your home life and all that sort of stuff. But it's
it's not that easy.
It's not that easy.
No.
Whereas if you're like the coach, for example, who's able to say, look, well, I'm going to do this and you're going to do this and it's all good. And
True, but also your partner. You could have found a partner that would be sitting there going, why are you going with those guys again, and not have any kids. It's just you need to find the right person. It's hard.
It's true.
And it takes a while to go on these apps and crap and doing this and trying to find the right person, because there's a lot of nutters out there.
Maybe she's just happy not to have you at home.
Hey,
How lucky
power
are you?
to her.
well,
How fucking lucky
you know
are you?
how annoying it is when you step on Lego pieces. And
Are you standing in my hair all the time?
This is it's like you said before, we're not professionals, so we're talking work-life balance. Now we're talking relationship life balance. How we got here?
There's no one here to pull us into line.
But it's good. No, it's
Drag
good.
us back
It's
in.
good.
Drag us back in.
Drag us back in.
No, but
Yeah.
I know in my situation, my partner works Saturdays, so fucking Friday nights, mate. Woo! Just call me an hour before I'm there. Don't worry about that. But then with that comes because she works Saturdays and I'm doing my own thing Saturday as well. Sunday's our day.
Yeah.
and pretty hard to
get up on it.
I'll need a couple of weeks' notice. I'm with you on that one. No, she's pretty good.
But like especially for work too. If you're a traveller, like if you tend to travel a fair bit, that adds another complexity, right? Because effectively, the time that you've travelled, although you're working, the time that you travelled is your time. Like you're not with your family
Most of the time, that's right.
Most
Yeah,
of that time.
correct. Yeah,
So as an argument, not an argument. Sorry, as a when you're in that negotiation stage of hey, I want to try and go out with the boys on a Saturday night. You've got to then make that discussion of okay, well, I've just been away for a whole week of work. Now
I want to go out.
One of the boys are going, fuck up, mate. I'm ready to go. I've cut loose. I'm single now. I want to, get in front of the herd. And then you've got to say, hey, babe, I know I've just come back on a Friday, but
Would it be okay?
Friday night I want to go out, and you've got kids and stuff. That conversation becomes fucking hairy, right?
Yeah.
So
And sometimes the purple jewel ain't enough. You've got. You've got to get the vibrations
You gotta do
going.
some fancy dancing
Yeah,
to get
correct.
that across
To
the
get
table.
that. So it's like work. I think more and more as life goes on, work is becoming a lot more involved and a lot more consuming. Now, obviously, that's up to the individual how consuming work can be.
But I think it's multiplied by modern technology. So the fact that you now carry a phone that's effectively your computer, where anyone can contact you 24/7, has made it worse.
Yeah.
Whereas in the old days, you'd press
old
that
days.
button, or
Yeah.
if you had computers, otherwise you'd just put your pen down and walk out on a Friday afternoon.
Yeah.
No one can ring you.
You're
No
on
one
the
even
sherbs.
messages you.
Well,
Zero till you come back Monday morning and pick your pen up and write on a bit of paper.
They can ring you, but it's just that you're at home.
I'm not answering
and,
my
and
phone.
it's the same number that everyone else shares throughout the house.
That's right.
So anyone could answer.
So
No, he's
now-
not home.
So what they say is, we'll give you a phone, so you can contact us anytime and email us, and we can get you as well.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that's
it's like a
right.
fucking
And,
leash,
and so
right?
it's become less possible to have that balance because your first habit waking up in the morning is to grab your phone.
Yeah. Any
First habit,
calls,
doesn't matter
emails.
what it's for.
Yeah, I know.
It'll either be personal, work, looking at the news, whatever it be. The first thing you do is pick up your phone. The
Yeah.
last thing you do when you go to bed, you put your phone on charge and go
Yeah,
to sleep.
Yeah, correct.
So to get that balance, it's a bloody good question. How do you do it?
Yeah.
Like, what do you do? Do you give yourself personal, no more phone calls after 7, and no phone calls before 7? Do you do it to yourself and go, I couldn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah.
The world could be burning. I'm at home with my family. That's it.
Yeah, and why not? You're in control of what happens to you.
Yeah.
So, and there are some people I know that I've been through a lot of training courses for sales and time management and all sorts of stuff. And one of the things technology is a massive discussion in all those things. And one of the things that they come up with is your phone, right? Yeah, everyone puts it on charge overnight. Don't put it next to you. Put it in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Put it in the kitchen. You go to bed. There's no phone. You have an alarm clock maybe because you obviously want to wake up. But don't use your phone for that. Don't use your phone next to you. Don't put it away from you. And that way you are sleeping. And another thing they say about that is because the phone's giving off all the radio waves, it affects people's sleep.
And
so
the blue light on your charger as well. If you've got like a
you can't sleep.
yeah. There was a time where
His room has to be
I don't
pitch
like,
black.
you plug your power board in.
He's even got cushions. He's got cushions over the power supply, so it doesn't
tape over all the slightest little blue light from across the room.
you
I
kidding?
can't sleep. Oh,
Can't
mate,
sleep. He's fucking useless.
There's something wrong with him.
Yeah.
yeah.
I have the TV on, the chargers all over the place.
Well,
I guess if you've got a good employer, and I'm just thinking, if you've got a good employer who allows you to, knock off early, I've got to go home to the kids, or
What'd you say?
knock the top
Don't take the top off.
that's our next topic.
purple tulip. Just thought I'd throw that in there.
If you've got a good employer, a good boss, or you run your own business, or whatever it is, if you've got the ability to just duck out and leave early, that's the sell-off.
Yeah,
The sell-off.
that's,
You know what I mean? I'm just leaving early tomorrow, pick up the kids at 2 o'clock. Go for it.
That's
Go and do it.
I've taken me to the age of 51, whatever it is, to find the perfect work-life balance. As you guys know, most of my life I've spent, working weekends because that's where the money is, And then there was a time of 4 or 5 years I was on call 1 in 4 weeks. So 1 in 4 weeks, and I had my kids every second weekend. So I'd have 1 weekend to myself out of 4, and I just felt like I was doing everything for everyone else. And don't get me wrong, there was a time when my kids was the priority, but then I got out of the industry, found an office job, and that's the kind of employer I have. As long as we do 8 hours a day, we can start and finish any time. Got to duck off half an hour early. Yeah, fuck, sweet, mate. No worries, go for it.
If they know you put the hours and the work in, then the sell-off is just you're flexible. You
Yeah,
can do what you want.
but I never knew. For me, I
never knew a job like
never
that?
knew a job like that because I'd done overtime working Sundays, Saturdays, like I said, on call, getting called out at midnight and 1 in the morning, and that was work to me.
And I guess it depends on the job. It depends if you can work remotely. Now that through COVID, obviously we all learned we could work from home. There was this myth years before that you could never work from home.
Yeah.
I couldn't trust
Yeah.
you. Then we've gone through COVID, and now every employer that allows you to do it says, I expect you all to work from home because it costs us fuck all to run an office.
Perfect example,
right.
the job I was at before when COVID hit and they were talking about working from home, one of the guys was just adamant it wasn't going to work. Like, we're going to try. No, it's not going to work. How are we going to do this? How are we going? We'll figure it out. So a couple of us did a trial, worked from home a few days. It seemed to work fine. And he begrudgingly worked from home. Right? This is when COVID hit, 2020, early 2020?
Yeah.
Yep. He still works from home, this guy.
Correct. Because he
doesn't come into the office
he's
at
found a
all.
way to dodge his way through it.
Absolutely,
That's
absolutely.
why. He's
Yeah.
found his way to dodge his way through it, but
You know who you are.
done. and getting it right is a real tough one because kids, we know Freddie's got a couple of small ones. I've got a 10-year-old, so, not so bad as that, but you've still got to be home at certain
Yeah.
times. You can't just let him get home by himself and let him sit there till 6 o'clock when you decide to rock up.
Yeah.
I think the police would have something to say about it if I left my kid at home by himself. So we too have to juggle between the two of us, being home within a reasonable time. Half an hour's not bad by himself. He actually enjoys his own company, but
Rips his skin off.
Rips his skin off.
Off the purple tulip. Oh, God, that's my nephew. Shut up. No, sorry, that's wrong.
So from that
Fred, see
perspective,
what you've done to me.
it's a tough one. The CFMEU, I was at a function. I don't always like to promote them, but
Yeah.
they had a massive banner, and part of the logo on the banner was 888. So it was 8 hours work, 8 hours sleep, and 8 hours life or leisure.
Yeah.
So that's their mantra. They actually had it up on this massive banner.
Yeah. I could still be working in the industry earning 40, 50 grand more than I am now. Easy. But no way, mate.
Yeah.
Monday to Friday. Our hours are flexible. I'm in the office at 6:30. I'm out the door at 2:30. That's me 5 days a
Does
week.
your boss know that? Did you just?
My boss knows that. He's
I don't want to get you in trouble or
He
anything.
steals pens.
He's got notepads at home. He's got heaps of and post-it notes. My God, you should see the post-it notes.
Yeah. Well, I know someone who's been working in a restaurant.
In the same job for 3 minutes.
That's anyway. So
Soft point.
5 minutes. 5 minutes now. Yeah. Been working in a restaurant as a waiter and
Waiter or waitress?
waiter.
Okay.
And
Wait
has only just got a job full time.
9 to 5?
9 to 5, Monday to Friday, and can't
Couldn't be
believe it.
happier.
Yeah.
Couldn't be happier.
Like
Yeah,
pig
yeah.
and shit.
It's funny. This person you mentioned, today I was at work and one of the managers was talking about, we were talking about working from home, and he brought up the fact that they used to have Teams meetings, and although they were working from home, they had a lot of graduates working, right? And all these graduates, they'd have hoodies on, whatever hoodies, what do they call them?
Is that the one-piece hoodie?
Like a
I've got one of those. Big blanket with a hoodie.
And he said, look, I understand it's Teams meetings, but when we're having a Teams meeting, I know you're working from home, no hoodies, please, just dress normally. Yeah.
Did they kick up a stink?
I saw the individual that the coach is talking about. He was working from home on this particular day, wearing a hoodie.
which is
Company
embraced
policy.
in the
I know.
company.
He
As a
explained
matter of fact, that you're allowed to wear pajamas
he
to
said-
work as long as it's appropriate.
To
It's-
work.
to work.
To the office.
To the office.
What happens if I have exposed parts?
As long as it's
have to sew that
appropriate.
bit up at the
My
front.
nips are showing.
As long as it's appropriate. Yes.
Well, it's appropriate that.
So you could go to work in your pajamas.
I asked that question.
Yeah.
I think it's
People wear their pajama
I guess as long as nothing's hanging out
That's just
and nothing
absurd.
can be seen, it's fine.
But what happens if you've got those loose-fitting pajamas and you've got a rock hard fucking
purple tulip.
the tulip
rock
fucking
hard tulip.
sprouting out of its fucking pocket? What do you do?
Stay at home.
It's always hard to find that
Purple
work.
tulip.
Well, mine's always
Wait till you get to our age.
it's always hard to find that balance, and I think because I think we're as you guys have already mentioned, during COVID, having your time working from home, understanding that there is more to just being in an office for longer than you need. I think it's starting to be seen that there is more to life than just work.
Yeah.
Now, whether that's with your family, whether that's you traveling around, or you having experiences in modern eateries and shit like that, it's
What's a modern
eateries,
eatery?
What's a modern eatery?
well, I don't know. I think
That's a
modern eateries to me is
great
like.
discussion point, I think. The meetings.
I think modern
I don't
eateries to
think
me
so.
are more like those
Is it like the fake meat places that
potentially or fancy little la-di-da fucking restaurants and stuff that you'd go to and they
little
put
Italian
shit caviar.
caviar? Caviar's come back in vogue.
Has it?
It has,
Oh,
in a big way.
So it's fondue sets.
Has it really?
They all come back.
Oh,
Caviar is out of control at the moment.
Oh well. there you go.
Everywhere you go,
So they're killing a bunch of fish just to get the fucking eggs.
well,
that
pretty much,
how that works?
pretty much the same as eggs. Full stop.
Do they kill the fish to get the eggs?
Yeah, because they got
No,
cut,
they just-
they
they-
cut the stomach out, don't they?
No, they actually. I saw a video the other day. They actually push the inside of the fish while it's live and pull all the eggs out.
No, but
And-
that's like to actually breed them. But if they're gonna harvest them, like sturgeon and stuff, they cut them open.
Oh, some they do, but this one they didn't. They just pulled it all. They just squeezed it out of the gut.
Stroke
Show
it.
us
Put it in
how
a
to do
bowl.
again.
Stroke it.
Can we get that on camera?
The purple tulip,
Stroke it with the limp wrist.
and
Perfect action.
And that was it. They had a bowl of eggs.
Imagine being that guy. Imagine being talk about work-life balance. Like, if
I know where you're going.
if you're going to work and you're like, "Fuck, I've got to go to work. I've got to stroke off some fish," and you just line it up in your arm, nice and delicately.
Oh, what about-
lather up your hand with some fucking cream and
that's
just
an easy
stroke
job.
that bitch
Freddie,
out?
that's an easy job. Imagine the ones getting horse sperm.
Someone
has to get that horse going with a big sock on the bottom.
I reckon there'd be a couple of people that they'd be happy with
Like,
it.
so, Hong Kong racing, right? It's huge. Like, we're all
Massive.
gamblers here.
Ja-
right? So
Sha Tin.
Yeah, Hong Kong racing is fucking massive. And, they do it. There's a breeding, there's breeding fucking
We've moved
farms
from work-life balance to
Just, no, but
pulling off horses.
Jerking off horses,
Yeah, jerking off. But there's this fucking horse with a monstrous fucking beast on it. Like, the piece was huge.
What made you look for
But I
that?
didn't know how. I don't know. But there was this poor woman that was probably the size of the beast, like the fucking meat hook on it. Like, she had to get this like a reasonable sack in like a PVC pipe,
Yeah.
and like literally try and
Yeah.
shove it onto the
To
cock
to catch it.
And this thing was just
going-
and she had to hold it. She had to like brace, and she must have been thinking good, like happy thoughts, like being at Disneyland or something, because this thing was just fucking her hands.
Maybe
like
that
no
was
hand.
her. Maybe that was her work-life balance right there.
Can you imagine that? Like, but
I love doing this. I love catching horse sperm.
and then getting a bit of spray back. It's just fucking fresh. But anyway,
Did she walk away smiling?
well, I don't know. I think her face was her face shield was covered in sperm. So I fucked fine.
Oh, dear me.
But so just on that topic,
Just wheel it back in.
so from work-life balance, do you think that? So obviously, people go to work if they might be cleaning toilets, right? And they're happy to do that. But do you think their limit of work, I guess their parameters of work-life balance are different to others? So, for example, someone that's sitting in an office that's typing away and getting arthritis on their fingers and whatever else, as opposed to someone who, has to, I don't know.
A rep who's on the road all day.
Oh yeah, well, a rep that's on the road, or maybe someone works at a sewage farm and has to test the sewage samples for COVID.
Yeah.
And count the corn.
Yeah.
Have you noticed that corn never fucking?
That's another one. Anyway,
That's why I stumped that shit in the hole. But anyway, but yeah, do you
Oh my
think? Do you
God.
think the parameters are different there?
So some people are really happy to sit in front of a computer and do nothing all day. Some people, and there's people who couldn't do that for the life and sit on the road all day, and they couldn't do anything other than that.
Yeah.
And they don't want to do anything other than that.
Yeah.
So some people are just happy to live that life. There's just how it is.
Yeah.
They don't
And I
crave
think-
for anything else. They don't crave for anything other than to go to my desk, the same thing,
I know I
type away.
crave. Just made you laugh. Sorry.
So they don't want for anything other than to do the job 9 to 5, clock on, clock off, get paid. Don't look for a raise. Don't look for anything.
Yeah.
They're just happy to do,
Happy to
that,
do that job.
all day, every day. There are just people who are like that.
Like, well, even like,
And they don't crave anything.
I was watching a video.
Maybe something.
I was watching a video of like, and the whole thing that sort of made me think about sewage farms. I was watching a documentary about like sewage plants and how they actually filter water and how they repurpose the water into actual what do you call it, like drinkable water.
Yeah.
Right. So this guy has a face shield on, but the underneath of it is open, like it's just a face shield, and like obviously there's nothing.
And he splash underneath.
Yeah. So this guy is the sewage is getting tumbled, and I think it's getting pulverised. I think it's the actual process to liquefy it before it gets filtered and drained. And there's a gangway that's sort of walking over the top of these pulverising machines. It's like tumblers, like big dryers, and but the dryers rotate toward the walkway. So at
There was
times, there's
splashback.
splashes, and this guy walks from one end clean faced to the other with his mask on, and like the shit still went up under his mask, and and one of the like there's a part of the documentary is there's a school. Like a group of kids that I'm assuming it's like a school excursion or something that had that ask him questions at the end, and one of the kids, obviously with no filter, says, "Like, what does it feel like? What do you do when the poop goes up into your mask?" And he says, "Oh, it's just a part of the job." So when I think of that, I'm like, if that's part of the job,
He doesn't rate himself to get another job,
Yeah,
does he?
like, what
I'm
do
not
you-
smart
what do you
enough
do?
to
Like-
go and answer a call at a call centre and go, "Hi, my name's John. I'm just going to help you cook." Like, you wouldn't rather do that?
yeah, correct.
For a
Like,
living?
I don't know. Like, I guess there's pros and cons to every job, right?
But you got to think of the individual now.
This pros and cons.
I don't know what the pros of that
pros in
job. Yeah.
are.
Well, I'm sure they'd get paid
might
a
get
decent
paid very
package.
well.
Good pay,
Yeah,
okay, yep.
But
yep.
he might be one of these people that just doesn't think about the fact that he can do another job. He might be thinks that that's my job. That's what I do. It's like
Maybe
if
he's
you're
proud
a
to
plumber,
do that.
right? Let's just say you're a plumber. Now, you know, I'm not saying you're going to get shit on your face, but like you're a plumber,
possibility.
right? You may, you might not, but you sit there going, "I'm a plumber."
The expectation
That's
is
my
you will
job.
come across
Yeah.
a
You know
job
what I mean?
that includes
And
pay.
he might be sitting there going, "That's my job. That's what I do."
Yeah.
You know,
And-
another job where you get shit on your face? German porn stars. Question though. Question. Are we going to end every video on shit stories?
Oh.
Oh, no, I'm just. It's a commonality.
If that's going to be our thing, I'm fine.
Four cocks wrapped in shit. Whatever.
I could come up with a shit story every day.
All right, and you knew you were going with it. Yeah.
Oh,
But,
Lord.
All right, let's wrap it up anyway.
But yeah, it's a work-life balance. I think for everyone is they need to really have a think about.
But it is different.
Yeah, about what
It is-
situation you're in.
Yeah.
and then how you play it. Like, you know, there may be more things to life than just doing. You might be able to start a podcast. Who knows? Who knows?
Who'd be stupid enough to do
Do you
that?
know anyone who's doing that?
Well, not in
Successfully?
their spare time. But guys, thank you very much for listening. Tune into the socials and get our updates. And guys, this is Four Cocks on the Couch. Thank
See you later.
See you all.
Bye.